Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Oxenfree. Let's continue. We just basically landed on the island and
Before we get there,
it seems like this is gonna be a pretty easy.
Who's that? There's this girl, Nona. She's just this girl, and I'm totally into her, and I want her to be into me. So just, just be cool, okay? No pouting or complaining or anything, all right? Deal?
Ren, relax.
Oh, and okay, Jonas. Now that we're dumpster buddies, what was the thing that you said to Alex back there? Do you have one of those vestigial tales or something?
It was nothing, really.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay silent there. There's no reason for me as the character not involved to respond. This is an interesting split path here, but we're just gonna follow. And I guess we have to hit A to jump down. We haven't been prompted to do that. It's interesting, they seemingly have taken a more dangerous path for no good reason. This is a weirdly animated building, cliff of a wall, and I guess there's no way back down. And it looks like up there is probably the city.
Over there.
Hey, guys.
Wait, I was about to tell a story. What was it?
About Brad's car.
So is that the tall girl
That can wait.
that we're talking about before? So we can now see like every single girl here in this game has colored hair.
But Nona wanted to play beach nanny, so... yeah. Everyone, this is Jonas. Jonas? Everyone.
Hey,
And they're...
And Jonas, that's...
Who are you again?
Jonas.
He's Alex's new in town, fresh as a daisy stepbrother.
Stepbrother.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's a trip, right?
Yeah, he's a cool guy from cool North Valley, so let's all try and show him a good time.
Just the beach and some beer will be enough, I'm sure.
And so everybody
Wait,
just kind of follows
You're
you.
Jonas, the stepbrother.
Yeah. What's your name again?
That is Clarissa.
How
but
are you her
she's
stepbrother? Like, what does that even mean? My mom married his dad, so family law and all. Yeah, well, I guess this is happening now. This is a thing that is happening, so...
Wow,
Where is
she's
everyone
really
else?
freaking out
Nicole
with
had
that.
that tennis thing.
And?
Clarissa, we took the last ferry. I thought more would show up, but
Oh my god, it's just Alex and her new stepbrother? Huh, that's it. That's who you brought. That's the group. Come on, Clarissa. I'm fun. I'm hip. I'm with it. Listen to yourself.
Wait, aren't you all like friends?
I'm friends with Nona, and I'm downgrading Ren to like a creepy neighbor. And you, I just met.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
getting...
sorry. I accept
Wow.
your apology. Thanks.
you see, Jonas.
The-
normally
some of
this is
the
like a 20
response.
deep rager, but Pat had a party last weekend, and
And a bunch of kids got caught TPing the school.
but this is great, right? We're on Edwards Island.
So we're on
Forget
with
those losers who couldn't
we're
handle
on
the
the island
weekend.
with
Who didn't
like
think we could make it? Who
at least
lost
one
our
girl that we
invitation?
don't even
Who had to
really
go
like.
after? We've been hearing about this for years, and now we're gonna do it.
That's
This is gonna be
interesting
amazing,
characterization.
right, guys?
Yeah, the beach. Island stuff.
Yeah.
So it seems like this guy is the optimistic and person, and that girl who I can't walk around is more of a pessimist, and so they're kind of scaling decisions around that, and we're getting little points in characterization. So it's almost like a dating sim that's going on here, where you're establishing relationships with each of the characters based on your choice, and you're trying to max out your stats with whoever you pick, or maybe all of them. Usually if you try to max them out with all of them, you get a mushy middle ending that's not that interesting, but I guess that's what I'm going to kind of go for. People walk very awkwardly here. And it seems like once you get out of step with the chain, things stop happening. The girl in red, I wish there was a way to zoom in the camera. Well, there's a way to bring up a map. Interesting. There's seems to be all kinds of other sections. So I thought the entire game was going to be just in this small area, but apparently the way this is mapped out, there's a lot more. So the girl in red is smoking. We'll have to keep an eye on the girl in blue and see if she's smoking. No, it doesn't look like she is. And the blonde-haired guy, who's our friend, smokes. And they apparently all drink because they all came here and were ready for that. I'll say smoking colloquially. I cannot see what's in her hand, whether it's a cigarette or a vape. Or like, it would be a little early for her to be vaping in 2013. I imagine kids were vaping in 2013. I just don't think video game developers knew kids were vaping in 2013. This is a really awkward layout, and much like the Double Fine game The Cave, at this point we are just walking, and I can't start up any conversation. So, unless I was going to try and do something like this, to see if there was something that we could tune into, I don't know. Like, and it doesn't really sound like there is anything here. It seems like probably there's a static sound effect loop that plays when you're not getting signal, just to make it seem like you're getting some kind of bleeding over signal, even though you're not. Yeah, moving very slowly here. If there was something that was going to lock in, it would have done that. And the static is just looped over and over again. Yeah, really no reason for us to have to walk down that much. So we're going down to the Beacon Beach. And I think this is where it's gonna all speed up. It's weird we broke up again. So now it's like the girls are leaving us. Only the guys are staying. Literally nothing happened in that scene, though. Just learning the characters, and I feel like there should have been a lot more just cutscenes.
Fire.
I
Man's
hate.
great equalizer.
So what's the?
I usually hate
what's the,
cutscenes,
like,
but this could
thing
have
to
used.
do here?
They could have
Other
used
than
it.
obviously go skinny dipping and get murdered by Jason Kruger.
Yeah, I think it's just whatever.
Hey, where
Yeah.
does that old woman live?
Oh, you mean Maggie Adler?
Yeah.
So I'm just
Nowhere.
gonna let him
She's
talk.
dead.
What?
Yep, killed over 3 days ago. It was all over the news. Local news, anyway. Oldest living resident.
Oh, that's sort of a bummer.
Yeah, well, we all gotta go sometime. In her case, later than sooner. And to answer your previous question, Jonas, the thing to do is lay on the beach and drink till you can't remember where you are.
And sometimes play truth or slap.
Yeah, let's play that. We can inaugurate Jonas.
Truth or
Ease him into
slap.
the night's festivities.
Isn't it, truth or dare?
This is better than truth or dare because nobody ends up licking somebody's butthole. You get asked a question.
What?
You have to tell the truth, but if somebody can prove that you lied, the accuser gets to slap you.
What
It's a
kind
good,
of junior?
getting to know somebody game.
Unless you lie a lot.
How can you prove that somebody lied?
Hearsay, rumor, conjecture, the usual.
All right, let's just get on with it. Okay, so first we're
I'll
gonna.
start. Ren,
Uh-huh.
come on, fess up. You want to go out with Nona, right?
Clarissa.
Wait. I want to hear his answer.
Oh, man. You're good at this.
Well, if being good means being kind of mean about it.
Look, it's tough to gauge. Something like...
Enough stalling. I know you want to sample the goods. Now
no,
just say so.
I mean...
This
I like her
writing
as a friend,
feels
right?
weird
That's
for this
I
age
just like her
group.
as a friend. That's all. She's cool. She's just a friend.
Oh,
liar! Liar! He's lying! He totally likes her!
What? Alex, come on. What are you doing?
I knew it. You can practically smell it on him.
You told me you liked her. Why did you even try to cover... You knew I knew. I'm standing right here.
Because I asked you to be cool about it, and now you're being like... whatever the complete opposite of cool is. Hot, but in a bad way.
All right,
So
Alex,
can
you
we
get first
hand-
blood. Slap him like he stole something.
I can't believe this is happening.
This really doesn't.
Hush, this is for your honor. Watch and relish.
You've suffered enough.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I don't
So,
get the
Alex's
violence
turn?
there.
Oh, great. Here we go. What's your favorite stuffed animal? Professor Snodgrass, the platypus man?
Let's see.
Jonas.
Yeah?
What do you honestly think about moving here?
I like it, honestly. People seem nice. I mean, Kamina's a crapload better than West Edge.
Is
So
that where
we
you're from?
picked up this
Yeah,
beer, but I
it's
don't know how to.
Less than great.
Thanks. I like it enough.
Sometimes.
Is it my question now, then?
Yep.
Okay, Clarissa.
There's too many
last
people
person you
really
made
here
out
to
with.
have a whole conversation.
Oh,
So I picked up the
maybe
beer. I
something
picked up
else.
the
Oh,
rocks.
yeah. Maybe who's the last person you hugged instead?
Oh, will you all relax? I've made out with people since... God. Anyways, that would have to be Ryan Fisher 2 weeks ago in Iggy's
I
den.
knew it.
So did she
Yeah, well,
date
he was there,
my
and I
brother
was
who
tired.
died? Is that
Yours
what
is turned
we're
now.
getting?
Alex, you got a new brother. Pretty exciting. I'm sure Jonas is excited, or maybe excited isn't the right word. Maybe a little overwhelmed with just everything, you know? Unsure. It's a lot to take in and adjust to.
I'm, fine with it, really.
He, seems okay, right? You're okay.
Yeah, but, thanks, I guess.
I'm just saying what Jonas is already thinking. That statistics show if you get divorced once, you're probably gonna get divorced again. And the fact is, your mom divorced your dad. So let's put his mind at ease and hear why.
I don't really need to know the situation before. It's none of my business.
It is.
Oh,
your
so now that I'm
business, your
sitting,
family
I'm
now,
drinking.
So let's hear it out. Why'd your parents get a divorce, Alex?
Clarissa, I don't really care why they got a divorce. Just
It's
that
because
Alex's
my
mom
brother
is-
died.
I know why. Michael died, and it broke everything, and they couldn't handle it. The end.
Well, now you know, Jonas.
Which is
Don't
pretty
die
typical.
and everything will
Most
be fine.
marriages
Clarissa.
don't
What?
withstand
You
the
guys,
death
honestly, I
of a
think I'm
child.
pretty much ready to do anything else besides this game.
Wait, let's not stop like this. We should
Game's over, Ren. I won. And to celebrate, I'm gonna sit on the beach and drink, and maybe, if I'm feeling spicy, even take a nap.
Maybe we could
And
get.
that's exactly what Nona's gonna do too.
Fine. Whatever. Be Miss Pouty on the beach all night if you want. I'm not gonna let you ruin this for me.
I appreciate your permission to be pouty. Thank you. Cheese! If you guys in your scavenger hunt or playing Ring Around the Rosie
So
happen to
that
find
picture is
anything
gonna
more
be a little
interesting than
different
slowly dying starfish,
based on whether you
you
was
be sure to
where you
just
were
let me
standing,
know.
I guess.
Super.
Maybe.
Sure, we'll grab ya if we find any,
Island Bigfoots?
island Bigfoots. Exactly.
Well, I want to inaugurate this bitch by checking out the caves. Nona, want to come?
I mean, I would.
I'm
but-
very clingy, Ren.
Fine. Jonas, you're a strapping young lad. Help boost me over the fence. The cave's just yonder.
And I guess you expect me to just jump over after?
But like I said, you're a strapping young lad.
Okay, come on.
Where are you from again?
It's a small town near North Valley.
Oh yeah. Is it nice?
If you like bars on the windows.
So even there, he hinted that he was in jail. So there's definitely some backstory here
Alex,
that has
you
to
wanna
be.
check out the caves, or?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
Boost me up.
Yeah, come on.
That's interesting. That
Come on, I'll push you over.
Oh, I forgot. We never
Whenever
talked
you're
about
ready.
Dot.
Oh, what? They're
So,
gay?
the cave. What's your bets? On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird's it gonna be?
so it seems like
It's Ren, so definitely 10.
we missed
He
out
gets
on a
excited
conversation
easily, but he has the
over
concentration of a
in the
goldfish.
back.
The fact that he keeps demanding we see it must mean something.
All right.
Hey, Carissa seems to be her normal annoying self. Sorry about that.
Let's see.
Yeah, Ren, about Nona.
Yeah, what the hell was up with you and the whole me liking her thing during the game? I mean, okay, fine. Fun is fun. But I'm trying to get in with this girl, and it was as if you liked making me look like an idiot.
I'm sorry. I am. I was just trying to have fun. I didn't know you would take it so seriously.
Well,
Like
I am.
I don't really
I mean,
get
I do,
that.
but
Like, how are you gonna date her if you don't just say, yes, I do like her?
Yeah, that'll work.
I heard that. Now, who's ready to have their minds blown?
If you don't mean that literally, I am.
Me.
Oh, wait, actually, I
See,
almost
sometimes
forgot.
they
Gonna take a little magic trip to Cupcake Town.
Those look like brownies.
Brownie Town.
Magic? What does that mean?
It means they're enhanced.
Nah, they're gonna eat
Qualities.
Well,
brownies.
maybe just don't eat too much.
No promises.
Yeah.
Delicious. Okay, so see these little piles of rocks?
So this is the
kids before us
problem.
always leave them here so you know where to try and tune in the signals.
The problem
So you're
with
gonna
that
stand
is now
basically
you could
right
be
around here. And
hallucinating
just tune the dial left or
at any
right until
point.
you start hearing some weirdness.
now. Although weed brownies usually
How
take
we
rather
know
long time to
when
kick
it's-
in,
You'll
like an
know.
hour or two,
Trust me.
from what I hear.
So just pull out your radio.
So let's see if we got any new photos. We do. There's definitely something wrong with the writing in this, and it seems fairly obvious. Each of these photos are going to change things around. Let's see. So, I vaguely also recall, and this might be spoilish, that we start to have conversations that interact with like different iterations of the timeline, which would be weird certainly, and the writing is already a little weird, so weirdness on top of weirdness sake.
Any day.
And we're getting reprompted. So I think it's important to, like, I cannot imagine that any butthole licking happens in Truth or Dare, or is even a thought that would be suggested in junior high school students or high school students. Like, I know he's being extreme and ridiculous, but sure, there's probably kissing and maybe even a little groping, but I doubt Truth or Dare goes much more than that before you're just straight up attending an orgy and know that you're attending an orgy. And like, yeah, I know that in most media it is always just depicted as probably a little bit too timid peck on the cheek or something like that, or peck on the lips, but they've really went the extreme direction with that line. That just threw me really off. And then there's a lot of other responses here that Alex has where she's being written kind of as a perky 14, 15-year-old at oldest, like me and stuff like that. It seems a little immature for the age and for what we're going here. Like, these are junior high students, so you're talking 16 or 17-year-olds. They're drinking on the beach, they're eating weed brownies, they're starting a fire on the beach, which can be certainly dangerous if they aren't doing it right. They could potentially start a forest fire. So, and they've snuck onto this island without any parents catching them or knowing them. None of the other kids showed up because they didn't want to hire more voice actors, obviously. But canonically in the story, it's because they TP'd another house, which, yeah, that seems more realistic. So the characters seem to swing wildly in some lines of dialogue, and this really just comes down to a writer not knowing how to write, and that becomes a constant problem here. And we'll get back to the game, don't worry. But it was the same in Life is Strange. It was two Canadian guys writing a story that they really didn't understand, not having the voice of being a teenage girl, either one of them. And so in the first episode it seemed all right, but it was a little too smart for its own good, and just kind of got worse and worse and worse. And that's my fear here, is that they're just writing from a place they don't understand, whereas there should be a lot more games where characters are programmers, like middle-aged white dude programmers having adventures, more like Indiana Jones. At least it's something like that would be a lot closer to the voice when writing individual lines of dialogue than games like this, which there's quite a lot of. Or you could do something like Portal 2. They make a empowered female character in the character of Chell, but then they don't bother to write her any lines of dialogue at all, because they really couldn't give a voice to that character properly, or chose not to, at least. But yeah, let's get back to the game. This is probably going to be a slightly boring gameplay mechanic. Like, tuning a radio, not amazingly fun. Also, this radio is particularly bad because any digital radio in the past 30 years has had an auto-seek function, and manually having to tune is kind of ridiculous. I actually built an AM/FM radio in my electronics class in high school, so I'm always a little proud of that. Alright, so here we're hearing some Morse code, and while I played around with Morse code, I definitely don't know it enough to be able to decode it. So if they don't give me something to fix that and write that down and decode it in game, I'm never going to know what that is. And I am not willing to do an augmented reality game where I have to write down the dots and dashes. Morse code is a particularly weird code. It's a very early coded system.
Holy crap! Wow, it's even cooler than I thought it would be. This is insane.
How is this? How can this be possible?
So that just
Maybe the
made
tuning's
some
like
light.
unblocking a weather balloon or something.
And now my controller's
Doesn't make any
shaking
sense.
again.
Well, it's just crazy then, because I don't know. If you move around, it kind of changes too, I think. Like, over at this pile. Here, come over here and try it.
So this is how you open your portal to hell on accident in any movie. And it seems like it's a different frequency now, and it'll be at a different angle. But the actual reception of a signal on a radio doesn't make a lot of sense,
This is so cool.
because that
I
really
know.
wouldn't
Clarissa and Nona should see this.
send
right?
anything back.
I know it's like weird with you guys or
It's
whatever
not
for some
bi-directional
reason,
communication.
Hey, they're fine where they are.
but- Okay, just
And
what is
radio
Clarissa's
signals
issue
are
with you two?
just
She dated Michael for 5 seconds like 3 years ago.
It was for a couple of months, a year and a half ago.
Whatever, she never liked me. Not even then. I was always the little sister who got in the way, who she had to climb in through windows to sneak around.
Clarissa's the kind of person who doesn't feel full unless she's pissed at somebody, so...
interesting characteristic.
Brownies are kicking in. Did that make sense?
So did that?
Yeah, it did to me.
Okay, good. Now, there's another
So
cool
only
spot, I
that
think,
guy
over
ate
here.
the brownies apparently. So that's kind of nice, because it would confuse the
You wanna
story
bring it
quite
on
a
over?
bit if everybody
Bring
had
the
eaten the
noise,
brownies.
as they say.
So it seems like it goes down just a little bit each time, but different frequencies. I mean, it really shouldn't be a different frequency if it's the same signal. Although, who knows how magic would affect a signal. They've set it here so that for signal frequencies are higher and lower. So you...
It sounds so.
Yeah, it sounds...
so you're being taught
It's freaking me out a little.
So you're taught to go both
Wait,
up
what was
and
that?
down.
There's like... This is gonna sound stupid, but there's like something in here.
Famous last words. Famous last.
Yeah, what is that?
And then we're
I'm
still
sure
cutting
there is
people
something
off.
in there, like a giant rabies-filled bat, or a maniac who wears mannequin wigs.
Or it kind of looks like a pool or something. Like a freshwater one, maybe. Let's check it out. It's not that far in.
If it's a pool, that'd be cool. I, didn't mean that to rhyme.
Cool pool.
Fortune favors the bold.
So
Bye.
Wait a minute! Jonas!
Well, I am going to just rest against here because I think I mismeasured the magic.
and so I walked off screen as there was a dialogue prompt, and yeah, it seems like we're gonna end up losing our stepbrother, who is the new guy, which might be the wrong writing direction to go there. Because if we did erase him from time, it really wouldn't affect much, and it would be better to if we lost our friend.
Jonas! Jonas?
There I guess might be some repeated trauma here if you lost your stepbrother and you lost your biological brother. And it seems to me like he's not here. And it doesn't seem like there must be some way to get up higher. The foreground and background mechanic on this is weird. Like, so I'm just trying to press forward and backward to see if maybe there's something I'm missing here. Let's... Yep, it seems like we lost him. Seems like we totally have lost him. And I wouldn't be surprised if all the other characters don't remember him at all. And then it's just people are gonna assume I'm having some kind of mental breakdown and being traumatized by my biological brother dying. But generically speaking, walking into a cave and being able to do absolutely nothing is weird. Well, that got me crawling, but it's not letting me walk in that direction. It really feels like we need to just stand in a specific spot and use the radio, and it doesn't seem like that specific spot is in either location. No, you just have to press on the back side of the wall. There's definitely a lack of gameplay polish here, and a lot of wasted time when they could have, instead of just having silence here, had some of the previous dialogue being said. Now, if this is a time traveling section where we will start hearing echoes of previous iterations of the timeline, maybe that's why this section has to be in silence. But I don't even know.
Jonas, are you alright? Shout if you're like bleeding or something.
It seems like playing the slightly over-concerned sister seems to be the right move for this character. And I guess I personally am moving from the mentality of playing as just a nice person that's going to try and maximize the stats on every character, down to playing a character that has a voice and characterization that seems most in line with what I think Alex would say. Just a more true to herself response.
Why would a guy bring an ashtray down here? Or a pen?
And I can't pick up any of that. Let's keep an eye on the reflection in the bottom of the screen to see if maybe that changes. Because if it starts moving in a different direction or something, then we'll know there's something weird. Let's see.
See a man about a dog. Sure, will do.
See a man about a dog. That, I think that's a quote from something. I don't think that's just a code.
Didn't you hear me calling for you?
Jesus, you scared me.
What are you even doing?
I'm sorry for going ahead. I thought I heard somebody down here, but, you know, obviously there isn't. But isn't this place incredible?
I'm not
I mean, I don't even know how
sure if she's the older
this
sister.
happens. It's crazy.
No, it's beautiful.
And I don't know if this game is going to want us to
See?
try to
That's
develop
what I
some kind of
heard.
romance.
It sounds like a person almost, right?
I mean, they are just
I
brother and
I don't know
sister-in-law.
where it's coming from.
Maybe it is someone. You ever think of that? Maybe it's the crazy guy who lives here and he's gonna eat out our stomachs.
Well, where is he then? In which of these tiny air holes does he hibernate? There was a light in here somewhere. I still want to see what made it. It must just be further in. Let's try and find it before we go back.
Well, seeing as how I crawled in here to get you, might as well make the most of it.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if it's cool, we can get the others, and if it's not, we'll just leave.
Seems like there's a ray of light flashing in the foreground that implies something. Unfortunately, we're really not getting anywhere very fast. And some of that has to do with just the direct commentary that I'm having to put into this game, but some of it definitely has to do with the fact that it's just kind of taking a long time. We're an hour into me playing the game, and probably closer to 45 minutes of actual gameplay, and just nothing really has happened. It feels like this story should have had a flash forward and then maybe a flash forward and then a flashback to present time, so that some kind of action event happens, or she could have had a dream sequence on the boat to foreshadow the events. That would have been really good writing, because if her biological brother died, having a dream sequence where her adopted brother dies as a nightmare would be perfectly fine. It would also open the door to a tutorial like section that's designed to fail, and it would definitely put more action into this game, which is very, very low in anything you could even call action. And I don't think we're ever going to pick up any items, so it really doesn't feel like a point and click adventure in that way. Even less than like Telltale games, because on the occasional instance you'll get an item in a Telltale game. And I would also say that Telltale games like The Walking Dead were mature adults running through adult problems, where this is again feeling a little too kiddie. And if you were trying to sell this to teenagers, I don't think teenagers would be particularly interested in such a wordy experience and such a high-minded experience that I think we're going to have. So its audience is a little nebulous. I mean, I think it really does fall back down to people who played point-and-click adventures, which would be in their mid-30s, more than anything. So I don't know why you're targeting a story about a bunch of teenagers to point-and-click adventure enthusiasts who would be in the mid-30s or older. We met those other characters very briefly, and then they totally disappeared from the story. That makes me feel like there clearly is going to be a second run through the timeline, or a new game plus, or just a second run of the game, where if I could have easily just chosen not to go in the caves at all. If that was the case, then maybe that would have just ended the game in totality, because if I didn't have the radio, then maybe I didn't open the cave up in the first place. Well, if they didn't have the radio, if the two boys didn't have the radio, then they wouldn't have been able to open the cave up, and nothing would have been able to happen. But I would hope that the resolution of this story isn't just that I stop the beginning of the adventure from happening. I would hope that there was more of a revelation and more of a reason for things happening. Well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.